All right. Good morning, everybody, from me and the chickens up here in the Highland. They're not crowing at the moment, but they'll be crowing in a minute. Everybody's doing good as far as I know. I hope everybody out there is doing good too. I truly do. Uh, had not. I guess the opportunity was always there. I finally figured out a way, possibly, to do a workaround to get where I needed to get or where I wanted to be. Um, is the is the U.S. Department of Energy is giving out grants for synthetic um, fuel, like for different things. And I've already kicked that idea around on the channel about the synthetic aviation fuel for the jet fuel JP3 and 4. Um, well, is there came up a piece of property that had the geothermal potential. It's not the only property out there, but it would serve the purposes what I'm trying to get at. Needs about $1 million investment. That's way over what I can do. Um, is the but the AI that I've been working with gave me a like a little heads up. Not only is the 501c3 nonprofit a workaround for what I want to do, it can actually help me get the licensing, the long term licensing that I thought was never within my ability to obtain. And that's a license to work with the Department of Energy, with thorium, and the MHD drive, the toroidal drive, um, which would just be spectacular, in my opinion. I couldn't imagine uh, a better reward in life. I've been too bad of a person to get such a thing in my life, is how I look at it. But hey, great. I'm tickled. The like I said, the farm is not that spectacular, but it does have the geothermal potential. But it could be recreated for the price. There's nothing free in Colorado, like nothing. And if it is cheap, oh, you need to be really concerned. Like you need to smell bear shit somewhere and just know that there's red flags flapping, not just hanging. They are somebody's doing Morse signal SOS kind of shit with red flags. If you find cheap anything in Colorado. But the land that I'm talking about, it could easily be reproduced for the amount of money that they're asking. Um, so either I would go much lower or I'd just rebuild it from the get go. It would only like gain you 6 months a year in the total program. That's a speed that it would pick you up. Boost about 6 months a year. So it's not critical, but it would be helpful. And it's in the right location where I'd like to be. So that's all win, win, and win. I'm going to finally take my kids' advice. Why didn't I do this or that with everything that I've done in my life? And I always tried to justify it. Well, people don't think like I do, and it wouldn't be fair, is what it comes down to. And my children always thought that I was a fucking idiot saying shit like that. Let's just be honest and fair. That's how they thought about it. Um, they're more like their mom. It is, and I've never known like to the fiber of her marrow of her bones. She's greedy. She could be a billionaire in a blink. She just in that mindset. Um, but that's what people. Everybody's different. That's and bless everybody didn't have two category 4 head injuries like I did. That's a setback, y'all. I just don't get concerned like y'all do. And that's a part of the. I used to. I'm not saying I was born stupid. I just don't. I don't get concerned now. Is what I'm trying to get at. It's just I'm okay if this life ended right now. I'd be okay. It wouldn't hurt my feelings any. Is what I'm trying to get at. Not that I'm suicidal. Not that I. No, none of that. I'm just saying that I've had about as much fun in a wheelchair as anybody can have in a wheelchair. So I'm okay if it ended tomorrow. Um, but there are a few things that I would like to still do. And like I said, getting a license for a thorium reactor from the Department of Energy, I thought was way outside of anything that I could ever dream for. If I get the if I file for the 501c3 through the state, they can help me. They can help me get the resource to file it federally. Then I can file the long form IRS thing, and that's the way you want to go for this kind of deal. Is everything about it is what I'm trying is may or may not work out. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to keep you up to date like this little hot water heating project here. Um, we'll probably keep you up to date every Monday or something like that because tomorrow is when we're going to find out whether or not this idea works. Um, is the and then I'll keep you update from every Monday on down from that on the idea. But we're going to see where it goes, and if we do the even though this is a pilot program for a synthetic aviation fuel refinery pilot, it's going to need about 15, 20 die-hard cult members or whatever you want to call it. People who are willing to do extra out of their way for little or no extra nothing. In the end, once this is all up and going, I don't plan on taking like a CEO's 90% thing. That's it. I want it all set up where everybody gets the same amount to include me. Yeah, it's my idea. It's my whatever. I don't consider that the big thing because it took everybody to get it to work is what I'm trying to get at. And do I if anything that being in a wheelchair has taught me is that one single person ain't shit. You don't fucking matter. I get a lot of people say, "Oh, you shouldn't say that." I'm just saying, like a bee, like a hive. My dad used to tell me this: that a bee is an insect, the hive is an animal. It's going to respond accordingly. That's the truth, y'all. In one individual person is about an insect. A community of people or a group of people working on a purpose and in one direction, that's an animal. You need to respect that. And I've never had that yet, is what I'm trying to get at. Um, and mostly on my own doing, to be honest. I've always struck out hardcore on my own. Even when I was paralyzed in Denver, uh, I could stand, I could move my toes. I just couldn't walk. But I could stand just fine. I could move my toes just fine. My leg wasn't utterly fucking paralyzed until the second biopsy. And then within 15 seconds of the I knew it was dead paralyzed because it was like bones in a jello bag. And it didn't work at all. I mean it didn't move. It was as limp as shit. Um, and then they pretend like, oh, that wasn't us. We didn't do that. No, what do you mean? Well, it worked before I came in here, and now it's very broken. You know what I mean? But can you sue the federal government? No, you can't. It's just the truth of it. You can try. You can make a lawyer famous. You can do a lot of things, okay, but are you going to get anything from it? No, you're not going to get a goddamn thing from it. And if that changes, I will let you know. But up until now, no, they've just fucked me over, fed me bullshit, treated me like a mushroom, kept you in the dark, and then fuck you over, feed you bullshit, keep you in the dark like a fucking mushroom. That is the general of it all, y'all. Um, but like I said, that's I'm not looking for people who think they can solve the the CEO aspect, like, oh, you just tell me all your secrets and I'll give you 5%, all right? I don't need nobody like that, y'all. Don't worry about it. But if you want to be a part of this, and if you want to work like hell, and you want to work insanely hard hours and probably not get anything from it, yeah, hook me up. Hit me up. I'll try to help you out. Um, but if it all goes good, and if this tiny, well-meaning crew, this very skeleton crew, can pull off what I'm asking, then yeah, it should be like on a minimum 37 a year, 37,000. It's $100 a day. For in Colorado, that ain't nothing. That's like minimum wage. So don't think that it's a big thing. I get some places in the nation that would actually look like a raise. Okay, here it would barely break even. I'm just being honest with y'all. But to get it going, that's where it would be, is what I'm trying to get at. And it would be performance based because unless you can take the herd and create a house out of it, and that's what I need the artisans for, that tight little band of artisans. Concrete, tile, I'd like it to be the hempcrete home, the hempcrete structure with a near custom tile interior into it. Buy tile whenever you can, but that shit's expensive. Making it's just as expensive. Well, not quite, but yeah, it is. But the custom tile aspect of it is crazy. If you've never seen a home in Mexico itself or in Germany where they do this kind of work that I'm talking about, you've not seen what a house could be. Until you can see like this where it has the radiant floor and it uses just a tiny amount of excess electricity to hold it at 80 degrees. That's a beautiful feel to have an always warm floor and to live in a house where it's not cold or drafty or damp or any of that kind of crap. That's a good feeling. And that's basically what I want to share. We can do better. We don't have to live like we live. We choose to live this way because somebody makes a lot of money off of it. They spend a lot of money making animated advertisements that get you to believe that that's the way it's supposed to be. Kind of like the slow people think that billionaires are overtaxed. Same. Okay. We're going to leave it here and y'all have fun. This is my answer that I may possibly one day be able to get a license through the Department of Energy to work with thorium. And if the end justifies the means, I'm all for it. Because trust me, I've said it repeatedly. The end justifies the means in which it took to achieve it. And to work with the thorium reactors in the MHD drives, for an uneducated hillbilly, that's like the pinnacle of fucking life. And I'm not saying I'm stupid. I'm not saying I don't understand satellites or cartography or data analysis. I know all that kind of stuff, y'all. That's a part of it. I do understand that. I'm just saying that's not what interests me. Watching billionaires perfect the perfect way to blow up a pointy firecracker, it was comical in the beginning. It's getting to the point where they don't even understand how fucking dangerous they are to our civilization. Yeah, it's not sustainable, is all I'm trying to get at. There's a better way, and just like the trick of counting what's in the basket and adding tax, it's doable if you understand. If you've never seen it, it probably sounds like a trick that's just too far. And am I like that? No, I'm not, y'all. I can add up three numbers. When I was young, I could add up an entire basket full of numbers and tell you and add 5% or 10 or 7% or whatever the tax was, and tell you within pennies of the total price. If I add three numbers together, I'll forget that I'm fucking adding numbers. It's just that bad, y'all. But that's the idea why I want to keep it nonprofit. But I still don't want to stop. I want to pursue what's in my head. So, okay, that's where we're at, y'all. We're going to leave it there, and I hope y'all have a great day. That's all I got. I hope you all have the best possible time that you can have. Yeah, enjoy it. It's short. We don't have much longer. Um, yep. Okay, talk to you then. Bye.